Hello friends, and welcome back to the Port of Indecision. This is Ray, and I'd like to share a new entertainment experience that Patti and I stumbled upon on our last cruise on the Celebrity Beyond. We attended the Liars Club for the first time and laughed so hard our sides were sore the next morning. Our cruise director Alejandro, the ship's captain Leo, and comedian Steve Caouette attempted to define a word and share entertaining stories with the audience. The audience had to cut through all the lies and vote on the correct definition. The video is longer than most, but if you love comedy, I guarantee you this video will have you laughing till the end.
Thank you so much for staying up late and joining us here for your late night comedy game show entitled Liars Club. Give me a cheer if you have seen Liars Club on a celebrity ship before. Give me a cheer if you have no idea what's about to happen. So you know him, you love him, ladies and gentlemen. It's your Cruise Director Alejandro! We have your comedian, put your hands together for Steve Caouette! Panelist, ladies and gentlemen, he is the master of the vessel. He's our captain, he's your captain. Put your hands together for Captain Leo! Captain, are you a fan of Argentinian football team?
It looks like a sabotage. I don't know. But it's probably 25 years ago. I don't have anything to do with that picture there.
Well, thank you all for joining us here at the Liars Club. I know you all know what's about to happen. As I said to our incredible audience here, you're going to get given different words. And you have to give us the definitions of the words that you see up on the screen. Now, our audience members have to choose if this definition is a lie or if it is the truth. I don't know if you already have any idea who you think is the most trustworthy on stage.
No, but they know I am the only one that speaks English here.
Shall we go ahead with our very first word of the Liars Club? Okay, first word out. This evening, Liars Club word number 1 is hawsehole. Hawsehole. Alejandro, you don't have to put your hand up, darling. But if you're really that eager, please feel free, you can go first.
I could go first.
Yes.
Hawsehole. It's, anybody here from Canada? Okay, that's good. Anybody here from England? Okay. Anyone here from Liechtenstein? Country in Africa. Hawsehole is a word that comes from Liechtenstein. No, I'm kidding. Hawsehole actually is a. Some people are under the impression that hawsehole is referring to a product or a person, or it's actually a one individual. And now I'm going to be honest with the following question. Anyone here from Nebraska? I figure no one would be from Nebraska. There's not too many people to start with from Nebraska. In Canada. The capital of Nebraska, Lincoln. Right? The University of Nebraska, very, very famous. The university, there was this professor a few years ago, not long ago, just a few years ago, this professor from the University of Lincoln in Nebraska. He was not very, I can't move much, but he was not very good with anger management. he was rude to the students in the classroom. His first name was Fu, F-U-H. The H was silent. You don't pronounce. Fu. His middle name was King. So every time he would come to the classroom, the students would go, "Oh, fucking Hawsehole!" The professor of the University, Nebraska, Canada.
Is that your final answer?
What do you mean? This is what it is?
That is what it is.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alejandro. Let's move on down the line. Captain,
Yes.
your definition of household, please.
Well, let's start by saying the household is a Greek word. The H is silent. So it's actually pronounced asshole.
Are you looking at me? Where are you looking at me?
Well, it actually brings me a few years back because before I was a captain, I was a speech therapist. And I was a speech therapist, and have you watched the movie The King's Speech? Yes, well, it's based on my work. It's based on my work. I have helped so many individuals. I have so many individuals, speaking speech therapy and also public speaking as well. And allow me to say, public speaking can be detrimental. It's quite frightening. So I help so many individuals also improve their public speaking technique and confidence. And literally, household. Let's break the word in two parts. Ha, like the first part is the ha, like ha. What could be a ha? It's a pose, like ha. Like a pause in the speech, and whole is the gap that follows. So, when you're stressed, you're on the stage, a small pause, stop in the speech and hold the gap that follows, literally. And even the most experienced speakers can suffer from this. I mean, even Alejandro, I've seen you on stage. I mean, how many years have you been doing this? Yes, you.
Many years. I think I'm very good at the job. Many
years. 15 years or so.
I invented this position.
Well, he invented public speaking, but even you, I've seen you from time to time, you get a little bit stressed and you pause for a second, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what an asshole. Like,
They didn't find it funny.
so, asshole is a pose in public speaking. But I have a second definition. Can I give a second one?
Yeah, please change that definition. It's not making me look good, Captain.
Oh, no, literally, household is a nautical term. It is, what is it? It is a hole in the superstructure of a vessel that normally the anchor chain would pass, sometimes mooring ropes. It is a nautical term.
That's your final answer, Captain. The second definition, the nautical term.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. We are now moving on to your comedian, Steve Caouette.
Hey, we got some late people. Sorry.
That was brilliant.
I saw you people looking at me. I'm sorry to interrupt the show, but this whole section is going.
Can we start from the beginning?
Oh, it's me.
Hawsehole.
Oh, yeah. By the way, how do I get roped into this ship? I said ship.
Good for you.
They're all dying for me to say hello. but I'm not gonna.
No, we want you to do that. Captain, he was. Have you ever sailed Alaska? You sailed Alaska?
Yeah. Together? No?
Yeah, I think we've been together.
Yeah.
They actually, it's illegal to hunt polar bear because they're extinct, going extinct and all this, and they're endangered. But they do have some actual where you could go and take an excursion on a polar hunt. No, stop laughing, lady. This is actually true, but you got to do it with the Inuits, the actual natives there, because they can legally, you know this, right? That they can legally hunt a polar bear, and so you can just go along for the ride. And so I did it. These guys set me up, and I could do it for free. And the way that they hunt the polar bear is amazing. You guys don't even realize. It's really technical. See, we went to a frozen lake bed. And then there was a pile of snow on the side of the lake bed. We all hid behind the pile of snow. And then to lure the polar bear in, we took I'm not lying, I was surprised too. We took a bag of green peas, frozen green peas, which are not indigenous up there. And they poured them right on the ice. And right next to those peas, they augured out a big hole in the ice. So now there's a hole with water, ice, and the peas right on the edge. And then me and all the Inuits, we all went behind the big pile of snow and waited. Now, I don't know if you realize this, but polar bear, their scent unbelievable, right? Their sight unbelievable. And when they see and smell a pea, which is very strange, from over 18 miles. And I didn't believe it. And then one sauntered in, right? Big sucker. And I'm thinking, wow, how do they do this? And I'm going to tell you how they do it. Eventually, that polar bear will come and it will get right on the edge of that hole. And when that polar bear squats down to take a pee, you kick him right in the ice hole. That is true. Actually, Hawsehole is just another name for an augured out hole in ice. That's it.
Okay, thank you very much, Steve. Before we go to our votes, let's do a quick recap. We're going to start with Alejandro. Quick recap, please, of your definition of household.
Anybody here from Canada? England? Liechtenstein? Country in Asia? What did I say? I can't remember what I said. Oh, the professor! The professor from the University of Lincoln in Nebraska. Not good with anger management. Fucking Hawsehole.
Thank you very much, Alejandro. Captain, a brief definition of your household.
How brief?
She's been on a ship a long time.
Well, before I was a captain, I was a speech therapist.
Just the last bit. Just the last bit.
The last bit. Okay,
The end.
household. Household is, what did I say?
Another term.
It's an opening in the superstructure of the ship.
Thank you.
Nautical term, yes.
Thank you very much, Captain. Steve.
Mine's so simple. It's a hole in the ice that was augured out.
Okay, thank you very much. Audience, it is now your turn to decide who you think is telling the truth. By round of applause, make some noise. Do you think that Alejandro is telling the truth? Okay, make some noise if you think that our captain is telling the truth.
Thank you.
Make some noise if you think Steve is telling the truth. Alejandro, I think you might have lost this one. But let's see who was telling the truth. Will the real truth teller please stand up? Through which an anchor cable passes, the captain was telling the truth. Obviously, he is the most trustworthy person on the ship. Round number 2 of the Lions Club is Titup. Are you okay? I'm going to give you some time to sort yourself out, Alejandro. We're going to start from this end. We're going to start with Steve. Steve, please give us your definition of the word.
When you guys gave me this word, I did not know what it meant. So I had to struggle trying to figure out a good analogy or story for it. But I will tell a story. I kind of wish the captain wasn't here because it's against regulation. But it all worked out. I am known to have a few drinks once in a while. And with her. And I had a couple hundred. And I'm on my way back to my room. It was a long time ago. It wasn't on this ship, but on my way back to the cabin, how many of you have chose the wrong end of the ship when you try to get to your cabin? And you're like, oh crap. And you look at the Willy Wonka hallway. And so I'm on my way, and as I'm doing it, I know I'm staggering, right? I'm having a little bit of a hard time. I know it's late. It was a birthday party. It was late. And I'm heading back, and everybody's asleep. And in the distance, I see somebody coming toward me. And when I look, it's this older Asian gentleman coming toward me. And as he's coming toward me, and I know he's really little. He's a short guy. And I know he's little because he ain't getting any bigger as he's coming. And he's moving.
Was it Alejandro?
It was. I wish I could say that. So as he's coming, what I noticed, I'm not lying, you guys. You guys know my act. I tell the truth. I tell stuff that's actually true. And this is what the man was doing. Now, obviously, the guy wasn't out hanging out, drinking all night. He had a coffee or something in his hand. It looked like he had woke up and he was older and he had his hot coffee. He was going to bed, or tea, maybe. I don't know. But as he's walking, this is what he's doing, coming toward me, no lie. Now he's doing that every 3 feet from a quarter mile away. And I'm the only guy in the hallway. And I'm thinking, uh-oh. I'm not a real cultured guy, and I haven't even been to Asia. And I'm thinking, when we meet up, what do I do? Do I do it back? You know, do I do my greeting the whole way? You know? But I decide option B. I'm gonna do it back, and I'm gonna give it back the way he gave it. He's still doing it the whole way, and so we started to cross paths, and I, gave him a little, yeah, and then he looked at me funny, like he was pissed, and then I was upset, because he started that shit a long way away. And the next day, I woke up and I remembered it, and we were having lunch with some of the crew, and I was telling them the story, and they all thought I was full of it, right? I'm lying. And then there were two security guys sitting at the table eating with us, and they said, let's go watch the tape. By the way, you guys don't realize, it's like, what, 80% coverage on this ship?
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
80,
Look at them now. Oh shit, we're gonna bring back those towels. So we go to the Holy of Holies, which I'm not supposed to go. That's why I shouldn't say this up front of him, but I'm sitting there it's like NASA. There's all these monitors, and they rewind the tape and everything, and it's going through, and you see all the normal people, and then all of a sudden it's desolate and no one, and then all of a sudden you see me, and it's way worse than I thought. I'm going like this. And they're laughing because they don't, the camera started with me next to the camera, so you just don't even see down. And they said, there's nobody there. And then all of a sudden I went, look at that dot. And it was him. And he's coming. And they start laughing. And then you see me go, and you see him go, and then we all had a laugh, and I started to leave. And before I left the security office, one of them went, wait a minute. And he stopped me, and he rewound the tape and zoomed in. He was not bowing. He was blowing on his coffee. I'm not shitting you. Look at everybody looking around for the Asian people to make sure it's okay to basically, Titup is a Titup is what you would say, is a social faux pas. So you make a mistake socially, which I did that night.
Thank you very much, Steve. A social faux pas. Okay, Captain, we're coming to you.
Yes, Titup is a Greek word. The second T is silent. So it is actually pronounced Titup. It brings me a few years back. Before I was a captain, I was a speech therapist, but before that, I was a plastic surgeon. I was a plastic surgeon, and there would be a very specific part of the female body that let's say it was the area of my expertise. Now in our field, we would do enlargements and reductions. I never did reductions because it was against my religion. So I would focus on the other one, and my clinic was very popular. Very popular. We had a waiting list and so on for months, and so literally we needed to decline clients, and there was a very specific procedure. Like I would have to do an evaluation to see if an operation is needed or not. So this is very important. So when the clients would come, I would do this test, let's say. So this, you need to focus now. So I would connect. It's very technical. I would connect the hypothetical line of the bottom of the two breasts. Now, the bottom of the two breasts, the hypothetical line. I would place my hand right in the middle. So, right in the middle. If I felt the belly button right in the middle. If I felt the belly button, I was sure the operation is needed. So, but yeah, it was actually not needed. It was mandatory. Well, my friends used to say, they used to say I was workaholic back then. I was workaholic. They even said I was very hands-on, very hands-on. So Titup is a very straightforward word. It's a slang term in the field of plastic surgeons, and all jokes aside, it is the synonym of a breast lift operation. I mean, think about it. Titup. Titup, breast lift. Yes.
Makes sense. Thank you very much, Captain. By no means least, So we're going over to Alejandro.
No, I think he's right. I go for that. I was going to give you a definition, but I vote for his definition. It makes perfect sense. First time I understand the captain. No, I have another definition that is the Titup. Titup. And this I will say with all due respect for everybody here, but Titup, for the elderly couples that are in this ship, which is everybody, Titup is a memory. Again, the captain told me this. Okay, Titup, the way that we would bury Dolly Parton. Titup, I got another definition. Titup. When I was a little kid, I was very curious. I wanted to learn about specific subjects. The one subject I wanted to learn more about was sex. When I was a little kid. Now I am an expert. But at the time I didn't know anything about it. So I was like my 10-year-old. And I went to my mom. And I said, Mom, how many type of women breasts are there? And my mom said, what are you talking about, Alejandro? Get away from me. She did not like the question. And I was like, okay. I went to my father. He said, Dad, how many type of women breasts are there? He had all the time in the world to give me all the explanation. He said to me, good question. Let me talk to you about this. He said, when your mom was in her best years, her breasts were like melons. Like melons? What do you mean? Yeah, they were round and firm. Then her breasts were like pears. You know the fruit, the pears? Pears. Still round, but hanging a bit. And now, they're like onions. Like onions? What do you mean? Yeah, you see them, and they make you want to cry. I thought it was a good explanation. At the time, I didn't know anything. I was so happy with this full explanation that I went to my mother and told her what my father had said. I did not know I was starting the Third World War. Mom, look what Dad said. She got so upset. And she said, who said that? Dad. Let me talk to you about men's willies. When your father, this is my mom speaking, when your father was in his best years, his willy was like an oak tree.
Oak tree.
An oak tree. An oak tree? What do you mean? Yeah, mighty and hard. Okay. Then it's like a banana. Like a banana? What do you mean a banana? Yeah, still very flexible but still reliable. Okay. And now, my mom said, it's like a Christmas tree. A Christmas tree? What do you mean? Yeah, completely dead. From the beginning to the end. And it only comes out once a year. And the balls are for decoration. But I thought it was a good explanation. What is the word that we... Titup. To move with jerky or exaggerated movements. Titup. No more definition. How many more definitions? Do I have more time to go on with more definitions?
Not if it's going to continue to not make any sense.
With jerky or exaggerated movements.
Okay, is that what you're sticking with? Okay, thank you very much, Alejandro. Let's do a quick recap. Steve, if you don't mind, a quick recap of your definition of the word Titup.
A social faux pas.
Social faux pas, thank you. Captain, your definition of a Titup.
Titup, yes, before I was a captain, I was a speech therapist. And after that, I was a plastic surgeon.
It's okay, you don't have to do the whole thing again. Just literally just the end bit. Just the
Okay.
last bit.
Titup. Breast lift. Titup.
Titup, thank you very much. And Alejandro.
To move with jerky or exaggerated movements.
Okay, there we go. Audience, by round of applause, it is now your time to vote. Do you think that Steve was telling the truth? By round of applause, do you think that the captain was telling the truth?
One loyal customer.
Where are these people getting their boobs done? That's what I
And finally, give me a round of applause, make some noise if you think Alejandro is telling the truth. Lady on her feet over here. Okay, it is now time for the real truth teller to please stand up.
Really?
No.
Telling the truth. Was Alejandro to move with jerky or exaggerated movements? Thank you very much, Alejandro. I'm not sure if that's the exact way of saying it. Pisonia.
Lasagna.
Captain, I'm going to start with you.
Thank you. Well, Pisonia is a Greek word. Actually, it sounds like a name of a ship of a different brand, but no, okay, of course not. But Pisonia is a Greek word. It's a Greek word. It brings me a few years back because before I was a captain, I was a speech therapist. But before that, I was a plastic surgeon. Correct? Yes. Well, even further back, I was a professor in the University of Lincoln, Nebraska. I was a professor in the where was it? In the University of Lincoln, Nebraska, and I did my thesis on the effects of global warming in the reproduction of the South African penguins, which is irrelevant to the work. But so I was giving my lectures, and that was way back. That was in my 20s, so that was way back. So I remember that day. I was back in the day. I was dating a girl. I forgot to mention that. I was dating a lady. Her name was Patti, and we dated for a year. So now, after a year, Patti insisted I should meet her parents. And I was a little bit reluctant in the beginning, but finally I gave in. I said, "Okay, Patti, I would love to meet your parents." So they invited me to their home, and the big day came. So I finished my lecture at the University of Nebraska. So I was walking, down the street, and I see a pharmacy, and I thought, "Oh my goodness, this is definitely a sign. This is definitely a sign." So I walked in the pharmacy door, go to the counter, approach the gentleman, I say, "Excuse me, sir, this is a very big night for me. I have been dating Betty for a year, and I'm meeting her parents tonight. We're having dinner. Wine will be involved, and well, you never know. I might get lucky. So can I have a third one?" So he comes with the third one. The big night came. I'm with the parents and Betty, and we're having dinner. And Betty's looking at me in a very peculiar way. So the dinner finished. Now I'm driving Betty back to our place, and she looks at me in a very mean way. So I say, "Oh, well," and she looks at me like, "Leo, you never told me you are so shy." I say, "No, Betty, you never told me your father works in the pharmacy."
I don't understand.
I don't understand. Pisonia means is an awkward situation. Pisonia.
Thank you very much, Captain. Alejandro.
Pisonia. is the synonym of the word pismire. You know what pismire is? Pismire is
It's
a
a synonym to
synonym
Pisonia.
of pisonia. So anyone here has been to Argentina? Not too many of you. When you go to Argentina as a foreigner, for instance, if you two gentlemen visit my country, well, you would notice immediately. You would go to the, as men, you go to the toilet, public toilets, the urinational units, and you would go and you urinate, but you see the locals and you admire. So you piss and admire the other people, the locals. Pisonia is the foreigners in the public toilets of Argentina admiring the Argentinian. It's a synonym of the word pismire, pismire. Although I have another definition. The ants, the insects in the floor, the ants, A-U-N-T-S, the ants. In the floor, they've been stepped by all of us for so many generations. And now they came up with an idea, hey, these humans don't even mean to do any harm, but they step on us. So now they came up with an idea, they get together, they gather, and they piss in the floor. So when we walk, the humans, we see something, and we walk around it. Pisonia is a urinating ant. An ant that urinates. Yes, a urinating ant, Pisonia. I have another definition, and I'm almost done, because then I have another one.
You get one more.
One more.
Is this allowed?
Pisonia. My uncle has a, speaking to what you were saying, my uncle has a drugstore in different countries in the world. You're from Greece, correct?
In Nebraska?
You're from...
I'm from Greece. But I don't like where this is going.
Where are you from, Captain, exactly?
Greece.
Where my uncle has a drugstore.
Yeah.
So and where are you from exactly, the city?
Las Vegas.
That's where my uncle has another drugstore. I said, hey uncle, how do the people from different countries buy condoms? So he said to me, well, the people in Greece, they buy condoms in groups of 5. One for Monday, one for Tuesday, one for Wednesday, one for Thursday, and one for Friday. That's it. I guess in
Weekends off.
the Greeks rest. And you from where again? Las Vegas? Yes. They buy the condoms in groups of 8. One for Monday, one for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They use 2 on Sundays. 8, which is a good thing. And then I was like, how about in Argentina, where we are all from? Well, 12. One for January, one for February, March. Titup. No, Pisonia. A genus of trees and shrubs in the 4 o'clock family.
What?
No, when I read, I thought the same thing. What? So I read it again. A genus of trees and shrubs in the 4 o'clock family.
Oh, a genius.
In the 4 o'clock
Next.
family?
In the floral.
Is that what you're sticking with? Yeah? Okay, perfect. Moving on. Steve.
I don't think I got a memo.
I thought you were going to wet my pants.
What the hell's going on? By the way, we're going to be in Aruba tomorrow. Are we excited? The last time I was in Aruba, I took a walk. I like to get off the beaten path there, get away. And I took a walk, and I was walking down this beautiful, take a walk, it's a beautiful area. There's some beautiful neighborhoods, and I was walking through this neighborhood. And I was walking by this white picket fence, and it was so well built. It was probably about 8 feet high, and it was just, I couldn't even see through the slats. What the hell are you laughing at? And as I'm walking by, over that, yeah, I think you know the neighborhood I'm talking about, right? And I could hear, over that fence, I could hear a bunch of older people, just 13, over and over. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I kept trying to look through the slats. I couldn't see through. I kept walking and walking. I tried to jump up. I couldn't. I was like, 13. Finally, I got to the middle of the fence, and there was a perfectly round cut up hole. And I went, I gotta see what the hell's going on. So I peeked in, and then at that moment, somebody on the other side poked me in the eye, and they all went, 14! 14. Those are the retirement homes in Aruba.
Piss on you.
Piss on me, piss on you. Pisonia is actually, okay, this is the easy way to define it. Has anybody ever seen the floaty in your eye? You know, when you see the little floaties? There's a technical term for it, but basically, Pisonia is that effect. It's when you have dust, microbes, or damage to the retina of your eye, and you will have Pisonia.
There we go. Thank you very much, Steve. Okay, quick recaps, Captain. We're starting with you.
Yes, Pisonia. Before I was a captain, I was a speech therapist, I was a plastic surgeon, I was a professor in the University of Nebraska. So Pisonia is a state of mind, it's a result of an awkward situation.
Thank you very much, Captain. Alejandro, your definition, just the one, please.
Yes. I was on a charter cruise a few years ago, and there was this company from the...
Not a new one.
No, it's related to Pisonia. There was this charter company. You know the company called the World of the Guinness Book of the Records? The Guinness World Book of the Records company? The ship was chartered by this company, the Guinness World Book of the Records. They all worked for this company, or they were there trying to set a new record for the Guinness World of the Book of the Records. So I was at the Cruise Director there, it was a few years ago. And there was 3 small people. They were even smaller than me, I must admit. And the first one, they were competing, so they built this computer room in the navigational lounge on deck 11. And they built the computer room, there's a door, and there were computers, and they closed the space where all the computers to do the research. So there were 3 small people. And I was like, hey, so what are you here for? Well, I think I have the smallest hands in the world. I was like, oh, okay, good luck. So he goes in the room, close the door, the computer, the research. 5 minutes later, he comes out, yeah, all cheerful, happy. I'm going to be in the world to get the Book of the Records of Guinness. I have the smallest hands in the world. Bravo, bravo. The next guy, hey, what are you here for? I think I have the smallest feet in the world. I was like, oh, okay, good luck. So he comes in the room, close the door, measure everything, I guess. 5 minutes later, I'm going to be in the world of the Guinness Book of the Record book because I have the smallest feet in the world. Okay, good, happy. He was very happy. The third guy, hey, what are you here for? I asked. He said, well, I think I have the smallest male member. You know what I mean? There's smallest. And I remember thinking, well, first of all, in my country, that category doesn't exist. Also, I was like thinking, well, if you were to have the smallest, why would you want anyone else to know? So I didn't know whether to say, well, good luck or not good luck, but I said, okay, the best for you. He goes in the room, close the door. 5 minutes later, nothing. 10 minutes, nothing. 20 minutes later, nothing. 45 minutes later, everyone was waiting to see what would happen. He comes out of the room, depressed, upset. You can see he was fuming in anger. And I'm like, hey, buddy, what happened? And he said, who the heck is Captain Leo? Thank you. Tomorrow in Aruba, I guess it's gonna be my day for me to get off. I have enjoyed working with everyone. Even you, Steve. What was the a genus of trees and shrubs in the 4 o'clock family? Pisonia.
Captain Leo.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Alejandro. Really appreciate
Captain
it.
Leo's like, I can't believe you did that.
Okay, we've had oh no, Steve, did I come back to you for your definition?
Oh yeah, it's like either it's things you see in your eyes, eye damage, or it's nice to know I have a travel meet tomorrow.
Okay, audience. audience, it is now up to you. It's your time to vote. We're going to find out who you think is telling the truth. Put your hands together if you think Captain Leo is telling the truth.
It's getting worse.
I believe you. Alejandro, give me a cheer if you think Alejandro's telling the truth.
I think it's.
Make some noise by round of applause if you think that Steve is telling the truth. Okay, it is now time to find out who was lying and who was truthful. Will the real truth teller please stand up?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the truth! Alejandro! Okay, we got time for one more word. One more word. The final word for this evening's Liars Club. Furfur. You want to go first, Alejandro?
Can I start?
Yes, absolutely.
Furfur. It's a German word that means something we don't know because we don't speak German. But we have to divide the word in two. Furfur. And we have to pronounce every letter. Furfur. And it will give us the definition that is so obvious. Furfur, a dyslexic dog. Roof, roof. A dog that can't speak right. Roof, roof. Furfur. A dyslexic dog. A dog that cannot speak well. Furfur. I have another definition that is itchy, flaky skin, especially on the scalp. Itchy, flaky skin, especially on the scalp. Furfur.
Flaky.
Which one are you locking in then?
Both of them.
Needs to be the one.
Itchy, flaky skin, especially on the scalp.
Okay, thank you, Alejandro. Steve, your final word, Furfur, what is your definition?
I'm the comic, and I've been watching how this is going. And I didn't realize we could go as far as some have. So I want to alter my story. But I'm scared to, because I think everybody's going to turn.
Who thinks it's just over?
You guys hear that? Yeah. It's a true story. Well, shut up, Obama. Yeah. You start out doing comedy, you don't make much money. You're lucky if you get a piece of pizza, maybe a free drink, So it was tough. And I was in Boston at one point. I was in New York City at one point, not making any money. And the only way that I could consistently get money was to donate sperm. And it's good money, it really is. And every Wednesday, I would at noon, I would go down to this building, and I'd get in the elevator, and I'd go to the 7th floor, and I would go donate sperm, and I'd get $100, right? And there was a woman every single time I went on that elevator at noon. It was the same woman, same time as me, and she would get on, and she'd get off at 5, and I got up at 7, and then finally, after months of this, I decided to break the ice. I thought, who the hell is this woman? I'm going to find this out. So she was in the elevator with me. It's a Wednesday, and we're starting to go. And I looked at her and I said, do you work here or something? She said, no, I donate blood on the 5th floor. I was like, oh yeah, what do you get for that? She said, $50. I said, you get $50? And she said, yeah. She said, what do you do on 7? I said, I donate sperm. And she said, oh. She says, what do you get for that? I said, $100. And she said, oh. And so the door opened on 5, and she left, and then 7, and I got up. And a week later, I got on the elevator, and she wasn't there. And I thought, well, maybe I scared her away, And the door started to shut, and then there was the hand. And it opened up, and it was her. And I looked at her, and I said, 5? And she went, mm-mm. I got a standing O from a guy.
Oh god. Look at the girl.
I don't even have a definition. I just really wanted to tell that joke. Come up with one.
Anything?
Yeah, Furfur is actually the lint or the
Shut up, lady.
that gets stuck in buttons, remotes. I'm serious. It's lint, fur, hair, gets stuck in remotes, elevator buttons, anything like that. That's Furfur.
Thank you very much, Steve. Okay then, and finally our last definition of the evening, Furfur Captain.
Furfur is a Greek word. It's actually not a Greek word. It's a Greek music instrument, and well, as you appreciate, before I was a captain, I was a plastic surgeon and a speech therapist. I was a professor at the University of Nebraska, but in my high school years, I used to play the Furfur for the school band. So, we didn't make it big, okay, but there was a program in Greece that they would call, when there was big concerts in Athens, in the capital, they would call the different high school bands, and we were fortunate enough to be called to play before stage. So this is when I first met Britney Spears, you know Britney Spears, right? You know, right? Yeah. So yeah, we met. We would go and play a couple of songs, and we were the support group before Britney comes on the stage. So this was the first time I met Britney Spears, and allow me to say that it was love at first sight. It was love at first sight. We dated for a month, myself and Britney, but it didn't work. It didn't work. I didn't work, and she said I was not good in bed. She said I was not good in bed, and still I cannot figure out how she could come to such a conclusion in 27 seconds. I don't know, but in all fairness, she was very supportive. We tried everything. We tried the yoga for couples. We tried the literature, meditation. We tried, nothing worked. We even tried, if I remember well, we even tried the Olympic condoms. The Olympic condoms. They come in gold, silver, and bronze. So a very proud man, I go straight for the gold, and Britney says, no, I want you to take the silver. I want you for once to finish second.
I want you once to finish second. That's great.
Well, I guess what some would find exciting, others find it premature, but that was in the high school years. Since then, many things changed. I can personally say, I can say definitely now that I have personally experienced through the years the female organism. The female organism. I know what I'm talking about, right? The female organism, and apparently there is 4 types of female organisms. There is the positive one. Oh yes, oh yes. The negative one. Oh no, oh no. The religious one. Oh my God. And the fake one. Oh Alejandro, oh Alejandro. So Furfur is a Greek music instrument.
Thank you so much for that, Captain. Okay, time for a very quick recap. Alejandro?
I don't want to play this game. Furfur itchy, flaky skin, especially on the scalp.
Thank you, Steve Caouette.
Lint. In the buttons, in the remote. Elevator.
In the buttons and the elevator and the remote. Understood. And Captain.
Yes, before I was a captain, I was a plastic surgeon. And before that, I was a speech therapist. But before that, I used to be a professor in the University of Nebraska. So,
Captain, you could just skip to the end.
the end?
Yeah, the end.
Alejandro.
Okay, they were your final 3 definitions of your final word, Furfur. It is now time to vote one last time. Make some noise if you think that Alejandro was telling the truth. Make some noise if you think Steve was telling the truth. Make some noise if you think that our captain was telling the truth. For the final time this evening, will the real truth teller please stand up? Telling the truth was your cruise director with itchy flaky skin, especially on the scalp. Ladies and gentlemen, please keep a round of applause going for your incredible panelists of the Lions Club. To Cruise Director Alejandro, we have your comedian Steve Caouette, and of course the master of the vessel, Captain Leo. I've been Bethany, your activity manager. We hope to see you back here tomorrow for Showtime Trooper. Now that is a show not to be missed. And of course, plenty of other things happening around the ship. Enjoy your day in Aruba. But one more time, give it up